Good afternoon. Well, here we are during the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm here talking to you from the Mattie Rhodes Center. We do have staff working in the building. Today's video is to give you an update about our current operations, talk to you a little bit about how we're supporting our participants, and then talk a little bit about some assistance that we are going to be receiving here at the agency to support our employees. So hopefully this information will be informative, and certainly I know that the details that I will provide will invite additional questions, and would like for you to contact me individually and ask me those questions directly. Certainly value the input by each of you as our board of directors. So with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. And the first segment of the video is regarding our current operations. And I will take a tagline from a recent marketing material that Angela Bruner put together that is entitled, "We Are Here." And so I think it's really appropriate. Mattie Rhodes Center, we made the decision back on Thursday, March 19th, which was a few days before Mayor Quinton Lucas would establish the stay-at-home order, to move towards remote operations. So on Thursday, March 19th, what we started was for most of the staff to begin working remotely from home, with our facilities being open, but not having more than 10 employees at any one time in the facilities. In addition, I made the decision that at our Northeast facility at 148 North Topping, that daily we would always have, as a part of that staff of 10 or less, a full-time therapist and a full-time social work. I felt very strongly that, one, if anybody from the neighborhood came to our facility, the building would be open, the lights would be on, and that if we had an individual or a family in crisis due to the pandemic or just anything that was going on in their life, we could respond to them immediately. So that's how we've been operating, is that the staff work from home. Also that the management team, which includes my two direct reports, David Stadler, who's the Vice President of Community Development Administration, and Dr. Tiffany Castleman, who oversees the Family Services and Support, along with our 10 mid-level managers, we meet daily at 9 a.m. We have a standing phone call that we utilize just to check in, and it's a opportunity for managers to describe what's going on with their staff. Our managers are in regular contact with our team members about their daily task, any challenges that they're facing, what they're hearing in the community, etc. Also, we use that call to understand who's in the building. So we always make sure that we never have 10 or more. So it has seemed to work out pretty well with knowing what's going on at any given moment, and ensuring that we are maintaining safety for our employees. What I'd like to share with you further is that all of our services are still being offered. So I'll start off with our therapy. So as I shared, we always have a full-time therapist in the building, and for those individuals that had been coming to Mattie Rhodes Center previously, they have been contacted by their designated therapist or social worker. So for those participants that we have phone numbers, they have been contacted and have been told that counseling and service coordination will continue. It'll just happen over the phone. What we are working on is purchasing a software or app that will allow us to provide telehealth. And we are waiting on some grant dollars that we have applied for, which was a part of an emergency assistance fund, to, if we get the dollars, we will purchase what is called Doxy.me, where individuals will be able to receive their therapy through a computer or through a cell phone. and be able to see their therapist. Also, our service coordinators have been mobile in that if we had a family that, let's say, needed food support from a food pantry, the caseworker has gone to the food pantry, picked up the food, and delivered it to their house. So in terms of the counseling and the social work, that is how that's being provided. And then in the areas of youth development, that's a little bit more challenging. If I had to estimate the percentage of young kids that we have a cell phone number, an email address, it's probably very low, probably less than 10%. What we are relying on are home phone numbers or phone numbers to parents. And what we are going to be working through is getting email addresses and cell phone numbers and asking which of our participants have internet access. So we're looking at some creative ways of getting that information so that we might begin to provide programming through the use of, let's say, like a Zoom, where we would schedule activity time periods where they could call in and there would be an activity that would be presented either by way of phone or through the computer. So we are working through that. I'm also pleased to share that the Art Center under Jenny Mendez's leadership early on, I would say probably that first weekend we went to remote operations, her and her team quickly went into action and produced probably over 100 art kits. And we're making those available to current participants. They used social media to inform the community that art kits were available by coming to the Art Center and the gallery for pickup. Even during the weekend, there were boxes outside the Art Center with art kits for parents just to pick up. And those 100 art kits probably went probably in the first couple of days at them being available. So that is something that we have found that the community and that really likes that opportunity to have something to keep their kids busy. So the art kits are still underway. The staff continues to make those. In fact, one particular school partner, a charter school, has asked that we make 130 art kits for their kids. And so we are in the process of responding to that request. We have been able to make these art kits, quite frankly, with a lot of just art inventory of different materials and supplies. But as you can imagine, after making the first 100 kits and then subsequent orders that we're going to fulfill, we could benefit from some donations of crayons, markers, construction paper, you name it. Anything that you think is maybe of unused, Jenny and her team have been very creative to put that into the form of art activities. So we greatly appreciate any donations you may provide. The other thing that we have established is we have a bilingual therapist who speaks both English and Spanish, who has designated daily some open time slots for counseling over the phone. So we are promoting this, that if individuals and or families are in fear, anxiety levels high because of the COVID-19 pandemic, they can call. And what is different about their phone call now versus, let's say, 2 months ago is we're trying to expedite the help that they need. So first, we will still gather important demographic information, but the one other step that we typically put before them that we will now bypass is an assessment, which typically requires an appointment, and the assessment is usually an hour to an hour and a half before the participant is then assigned to a therapist to receive counseling. So in this case, if you have an individual that's just, you know what, I can't take it, being inside, and, my kids are, bored, I'm having to worry about my last paycheck, and I really just want to talk to somebody, they can call daily And after just providing some basic demographic information of name, address, phone number, etc., they will be quickly paired up with this individual who will call them and provide them with some support. So we're very pleased that we have that available. So as I conclude this segment, my biggest point that I want to convey to you as board of directors is we are here. We are here for the community. We are doing the best that we can to continue to meet the needs, whether they be counseling, activities for kids, art as a mean to bring people together. We are here. We have forwarded these flyers to you, and where you can help is just to distribute those. Distribute them to your network via email, via social media, etc. But bottom line, we want the neighborhood and the community to know that Mattie Rhodes Center is here and responding to the needs that we are all facing. So I believe that concludes this particular segment entitled We Are Here.